A very good morning to all of you. Welcome back to E-Pathshala, Sadhguru Gadge Maharaj College, Karad, an autonomous college. In the previous video, we have seen many things about language and linguistics. We have seen certain modules that have been prescribed for you. And we had a nice discussion about the various intricacies of language and linguistics, though in a very fundamental manner. So before we proceed on to certain new things about language, it is time to revise those things which we have seen so far. We've seen that the paper which is prescribed for you is language and linguistics, and there are 4 modules prescribed for you. Module number 1, that is language and communication. Module number 2, phonology. Module number 3, morphology. And the last module is syntax, particularly the word class. In the last video, we had the introductory understanding about language. We've seen that language is a source of communication. It is a vital source of communication. It is a powerful and effective system of communication through which we express our ideas, emotions, thoughts, desires. However, we have seen there are different kinds of communication, such as dance, music. But human language is more sophisticated. There are certain paralinguistic features or paralinguistic systems. But those paralinguistic features are a bit limited to bring in effect in communication. We had seen that language is a human phenomenon. We have seen that language is a social phenomenon. And we have seen that language, according to Michael Halliday, is an activity. And this activity comprises of 4 skills: listening, reading, listening, speaking, reading, and writing. So these are the 4 skills. And we have seen some definitions of language. We had referred to the definition given by Edward Sapir, who says that language is primarily human. It is a non-instinctive method of communication by means of voluntarily produced sounds. So in the light of the definition, I explained to you in the last video that it is the human beings that language is an attribute of. And it is a non-instinctive method. No, it is not the method that has been inherited. It is not inherited. It is something that we have acquired through a systematic process of learning. So it is non-instinctive method of communication by means of voluntarily produced sounds. Another linguist, Henry, says that language is an expression of thought by means of words, by means of sounds. After that, we have seen some characteristics of language. We've seen that language is human, language is vocal, language is primarily speech, language is a social phenomenon, language is arbitrary, language is a science system. So all of these characteristics that are marked with this language, we had referred to in the previous video. In today's video, we are going to see the next topic under the module number 1, that is language and communication, the difference between the human language and animal communication. The humans have a system of communication, so do the animals have. Is there any difference between these two systems of communication? So when we think about human language, when we think about communication, there are questions that come to our mind. What is language? How many languages are there in the world? Do the animals have a system of language, or do the animals have a language? What does a linguist do? What does a grammarian do? What are the different varieties of language? So these are the questions that come to our mind. And we have already seen that language is primarily human. It is non-instinctive method of communication. It is not something that is given by God, as a gift. It is a sharing phenomenon. So when we think about the animals, there are some animals like cats, dogs. They have, monkeys, they have developed a system of communication. So what's the difference between these two systems of communication? One that is attributed to human beings and the other to animals. So there are some differences. And these differences we're going to highlight today in this video. So when we think about human language, it is the most sophisticated method, a system of communication. Most sophisticated system of communication. And animals do have their own system of communication. But when we think about the differences between these two, we can say that the system that is among the human beings, the language for communication, is more effective, is sophisticated, whereas the animal communication has some limitations. So animal communication, it is a matter of given environment. So when we talk about a system of communication that exists among the human beings and the animals, so there are some features that come to our mind. What's the difference between these two systems of communication? Animals do make noises. Animals do create or do produce sounds, though they are not sounds in a sophisticated manner. They are the noises, they are the cries. And through those signals, they convey some sort of meaning which is intelligible among its fellow members in that given community of animals. So human beings have a most sophisticated, the most sophisticated system of communication because it is a shared phenomenon. We live in groups, we live in communities. And when we are in the group or the members in the community, through the language we express ourselves. We express our ideas, we express our emotions, we express our desires. So when we think about human language, it is sophisticated and is intelligible among all the shared participants in the given act of communication. You must have had an experience of the pets at home. We have dogs, we have cats, we have bees, even the ants, So all these creatures, they have their own system of communication. But the meaning that are evoked through the system of communication is intelligible to their members only. But human language is more sophisticated, system is more sophisticated. The first feature that is marked with this human language is duality of pattern. The human language is marked by two patterns, what we call the duality of patterning. One, it is a phonemic pattern, and second, it is morpheme. So phonetics and morphology, they come into picture. In phonetics, the human beings produce sounds, they transmit the sounds, sounds are received, and in the production of sounds, various organs are involved. Three systems which we are going to see in detail when we move on to the next module, that is phonology. But for instance, for the production of speech or speech sounds, three systems are involved. The first, the respiratory system, the phonatory system, and the articulatory system. So these three systems are involved in the production of speech, and we produce sounds, we organize the phonemes, we make the meaningful utterances. So speech and writing, these are the two manifestations of language, as we all know. So language is primarily speech. Writing as a system has been developed much later. So when we speak, we produce sounds, we organize the phonemes as per the prescriptions, we transmit them, we receive them in the act of communication, and the meaning is conveyed. So the respiratory system, the air plays an important role. The air that we breathe out, the air that we exhale, is made use of through the vocal cords here, the phonatory system, that help us to produce sounds. So all these technical things about the production of sounds we're going to address in the next module called phonology. For the time being, we understand that duality of patterning is one of the important characteristics that differentiates the human language from animal communication. The first one, the duality of patterning, the human language is marked by a set of phonemes and the morpheme. So when we write, we use morphemes, we organize morphemes into making words, we organize words into forming phrases, we organize phrases in forming the clauses. So all these syntactic features of language, they are organized in order to bring in the effective meaning, effective understanding. The second important feature that differentiates human language from animal communication is displacement. So displacement is another important feature that differentiates human language from the animal system of communication. You must have observed that whenever I am referring to animals, I am using the term system of communication. And in connection with the human beings, I am using the term called language. So it is the human language and animal system of communication. So displacement is another feature that brings in variation between the either of the two, the human language and animal system of communication. So through the language, we, the human beings, can talk about the things about the present, can talk about the things happening in the present, can talk about the things that have already taken place, or can speak about those things which are going to take place in the near future. So it is one of the important feature of language. We can make the statement that yesterday I watched a movie, I went to my friend, I had a party with him, tomorrow I am going to meet my principal. So n number of things. No? So in the context of human language, we can talk about the things which we are living, which we have lived, or even which will be living in the near future. We even talk about certain things which we have not experienced, because human beings are gifted one of the faculties called the faculty of imagination. And through this faculty of imagination, we use language for communication, we use language to speak, we use language to think as well. So with this faculty of imagination, we can talk about those things which we have not lived, the abstract notions. But in case of the animals, it is not so. Animals or system of communication is environment specific. It is a given environment specific. When you find the dog barking at a stranger, it is given to the context, it is given to that environment. The animals they cannot speak. They produce sounds, but those sounds, those cries, which are intelligible among its fellow members in that particular community, the animal community, they cannot. They bark, whenever the stranger comes at the gate, the dog starts barking. So barking of a dog is subject to the environment. The mewing of the cat is subject to the environment. Whenever the cat feels thirsty, whenever the cat feels hungry, so then you can make out the differences that underlay in the color of the sounds, in the sense of the sounds. But in the context, the human language, through the human language, we can speak about here and now, speak about the bygone days, bygone experiences, bygone things. And not only that, we even can talk about things which are going to take place, about tomorrow. And can talk about cosmos, heaven, hell, right? With the faculty of imagination. But in case of animals, it is not so. The next important difference between human language and animal system of communication is that the human language is about creativity. The human language is creative. I would explain how the language permits us so many different conventions. The phonemic conventions, the morphological conventions, the syntactic conventions, the semantic conventions, and exploring all these linguistic conventions, one can create the infinite number of expressions. For example, I would begin by saying, yesterday I went to my friend and we had a discussion about the examination coming in near future, and we had number of other items that we discussed on. So likewise, by using the processes of coordination, subordination, we can extend, we can enlarge our expressions, our sentences. So this is the feature, but in case of the animals, it is not so. It is not creative. The next difference between this human language and animal system of communication is a socially, you can say that, social phenomenon. You say, human language is social. It is a social phenomenon. And it is culture transmitting as well. The system of communication existing among the animals is biologically acquired, whereas the human language is acquired by or through a systematic learning process. For example, if a bird, a baby bird, a newborn baby bird is not allowed or is not exposed to a bird song for 7 weeks or 7 months, it doesn't make a difference. It will, even if it is not exposed to the bird song for about 7 months, the bird after the 7 months will start singing. But in case of human being, it is not so. The human language requires intense process of learning. If a newborn baby boy or baby girl is not exposed to the human language for 7 months, the boy or a girl after 7 months, when it will grow up, it will not acquire the language. It has to have a proper process of learning. It has to be done. Where in case of animals, it is biologically inherited. It is biologically acquired. The barking of dogs is biologically acquired by dogs. The cat, the bees, the donkeys, the apes, the animals, all the animals, they have their system. The system of communication through which they express their so-called meaning, right? Which is intelligible among themselves only. So, in case of human language, it is a social phenomenon. We are the social animals. We live in society. We talk about many things with each other. We participate. And we have one common goal. In order to fulfill this one common goal, language comes to our help. So displacement, creativity, a social phenomenon, displacement. So these are some of the features that bring in differences between the human language and animal system of communication. So animal system of communication is context bound. It is subject to the given context. It is subject to the given environment, whereas the human language is open-ended. It does not have any limitation. It does not have any boundary. It is free. It is open. And this open-endedness of language makes the human beings very proud of many things. We have made it possible many things which we are very proud of and feel superior to all the animals, because man himself considers to be the superior animal in the existence. So with this system of communication, he has made it possible. And though the differences, I would like to sum up all these things once again. The animal communication and the human language, they're different. Animals do not have language. They have the system of communication, whereas the human beings have the language. The human beings have a sophisticated method called language for communication. We produce sounds. We organize sounds. We transmit sounds. We receive sounds. And by exploring this convention of phonology and morphology, we can create the infinite number of expressions. The sound called mew cannot be broken. The sounds or the cries made by cat mew. Dogs bark. Right? But human, we can say that book. Book is utterance, book. But we can distinguish that how it is organized. Concerning k. So these phonemes called k, make up the meaningful utterance called book. So in case of cat or cat mewing, barking of dogs, humming of birds, they cannot be further analyzed phonologically by exploring all the symbols. So human language is vocal. Human language is a social phenomenon. It is a powerful tool of communication. It is a powerful tool of cooperation. It is a powerful tool of interaction. And it is marked by some of the sophisticated features called duality of patterning. Human language is marked by two patterning, the phonemic and the morphic. The second is about displacement. Through the language we can speak about not only now but can speak about yesterday's and can speak about tomorrow's as well. And not only this, we can also talk about those things which we have never experienced. We can do this by applying our faculty of imagination. So, duality of patterning, displacement, creativity, arbitrariness, which is what we have seen in the last video, means there is no logical relation between the sound and the object. I refer to Ferdinand de Saussure, a Swiss linguist whose contribution to the world of linguistics is considered to be very influential in the 20th century. In his theory of structuralism, he has elaborated on the structuralist aspects of language, the structural aspect of language. And he says that language is a sign system. And each linguistic sign comprises of two, the signifier and the signified. And there is no logical relation between the signifier and the signified. The word or the utterance dog and that object that it stands for, that we find in the outside word, they do not have any logical relation. That's why signs are called arbitrary. So language is arbitrary. So all of these features mark the differences between the animal system of communication and human language. So friends, we have seen this unit under module number 1. The first module we have covered in the 2 videos. In the last video, we addressed the concept of language, and today we have seen the differences between the human language and animal system of communication. In the next video, we'll be moving on to the next module, that is of phonology. Till then, let us stop here, and I thank you for your listening and hope you must have enjoyed it. Thank you very much.